So I'm just doing a makeshift video to show a couple of my friends that have mixed kids how I pull Kamiyahs' hair back. So the first thing, couple of tips that I figured out that work really well is a really wide tooth comb just to get the initial snarls out. So it's actually the Wet Brush company. They make this kind of a brush and they also make a wide tooth comb. Both of which I use this for in between. I use this for when I'm first going to pull her hair back. Sit down, please. Sit down. I am also bribing her with a sucker, so we're going to see how this works out. And then the other thing is that I use latex rubber bands, not the ones that are no tear, because the no tear don't stay. It seems like with the oil that we use in her hair, they'll just give way or break. And so the other thing about these is that I never reuse them, so I actually cut them out when I'm done, when I'm going to change her hairstyle. So these are definitely disposable, definitely affordable. And I also have a tendency to order the colored ones from Goody online, because Goody seems to be the best brand of technical latex rubber bands.
It's not dark outside.
It is dark. It's snowing though. Okay, so the other thing is that's really important is the comb. I really have a tendency to lean towards the Kamiyahs, but I also like this comb air. So the comb has to be stiff enough because it's going to have to obviously weed through her hair that's really thick. And you're also going to want it not too sharp, because if it's too sharp, it'll actually injure the scalp. So you're going to want a combination of the two. And so that is why I have a tendency to lean towards a Kamiyah. And then the other thing is that I use Mixed Chicks. It can be ordered on Amazon. I originally got it out of the Twin Cities. I think Target's starting to carry it. Amazing product. You're gonna pay for it, but you pay for what you get. So you get what you pay for. So that's a big deal. And then the other thing is that I always have 3 clips. One to hold the hair on this side, one to hold the hair on this side, and then if I'm going to need to be moving what's back here, I have one for there. Okay, I know you want purple. You already picked pink and purple, so can you put it back, please? Put it back. Usually I do TV, because technically suckers aren't really all that good for teeth, but if I did the TV, then we wouldn't be able to hear me talking to you. So, alright, so that being said, if you're just going to pull it halfway back, which is always, it's always a real convenient thing to do first.
Hey!
Yes, come on.
Hey! Look at the TV.
There's nothing on the TV. I usually do halfway back, whether or not I'm going to pull it full back, because those little tiny hairs that have a tendency to be pesky and sticking out stay back when you pull it half back. So, hey, you need to hold still, please. The ticket to getting a real clean line is to make sure A, the hair is wet, and B, that you push down hard enough on the scalp, and that's why that particular comb seems to be the best. So that's what's going to give you that real sharp line. I don't concern myself so much that line that goes from the back of one ear to the back of the next, because people don't really notice that as much if you don't get that perfectly straight. It's not a big deal as much as it's going to be to get the line straight once you actually start pulling it back in the front. Also, I have a tendency to find out that Kamiyah does not, at least my daughter, most kids probably actually, don't really like to hold still through a really long, tedious line that goes all the way from the back to the front. So, once I get that line deciphered, you can see a real clear line. One thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make sure that the line is just as straight when you pull on it as it was when it was loose, because the line has a tendency to change. Once I get this back, I actually put this in a ponytail because I'm not going to need to move this unless I was actually doing quarters all the way down and back to the front. If you've got a lot of straight hairs down here, when you quarter this out, that solves that. So that's the only time I really do that. But being that she's been pretty good the last couple weeks, I've just decided to not do that for right now. So, okay.
Mommy's phone?
It is Mommy's phone. Can you sit down, please? Your focus right now is your sucker, okay? We're actually going to teach somebody how to do hair, okay?
Where's my mama?
I'm right here. Okay, so as far as this part goes, I change it all the time. You could go anywhere. Kamiyah, I need you to look forward, please. You could go anywhere from taking a real sharp line at an angle. Oops.
It's snowing outside.
It's very much snowing outside. Can you not move for me, please? I need you to look forward. I can either go at a real sharp angle and make a technical triangle. Don't wiggle. Please don't wiggle. Make a technical triangle. That means that there's technically a vanishing point in the hair, so you'll end up seeing more of a, well, I kind of call it an attention grabber. If you're trying to impress somebody somewhere, this really gets them, because they're like, whoa, how'd you do that? Gives it that real sharp line. There's also a product that my mother-in-law suggested that helps keep this kind of hair down. It depends on what kind of texture your kid's hair is. My kid's hair really works just well with mixed chicks, so I don't really concern myself too deeply with it. But that's where you would see that real sharp line in a triangle. Today, I'm probably not going to do so much as a triangle, as I'm probably just going to do a straight line back.
Ow.
So you'll end up having more of a block look.
Ow.
One thing that I also know is that if you are having a hard time getting your child to hold still, I hate to say this, but the reason why Kamiyah is so patient with it is because I've been doing it since she was literally days old. Not pulling her hair back, but just doing her hair. I'd put her up in a bumbo, and, you know, even though it took, you know, a chunk of time to do, I felt that it was going to be necessary for me in the future. So if your kid does not, you know, behave quite like this, I wouldn't feel bad about it, because it was definitely a process. It wasn't always this way. So a good piece of bribery is always warranted. Suckers work, and also 50 episodes of Doc McStuffins, depending on how long you want to be at this. Okay.
I want dolphins.
Not right now, because I need to be able to talk, okay?
Okay.
You can have Doc McStuffins after this, though. How about that? Is that a deal?
Mm-hmm. Ooh, pull my hair.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so this is the part where it solves a lot of these little hair issues. You see that some of the hair towards the top of her, the front of her scalp here, is, you know, it's what gives it that fuzzy look. What I do is I just take pieces, little tiny pieces, as I go back, and I just twist it in. You're gonna want to twist a lot tighter here than once you get back here, because once you get back here, it pretty much takes care of itself. That's what's gonna give you that that technical braided look, but not without the braids. Actually, if you leave hair in braids for too long, it's just as damaging as straightening it or frying it, just because it pulls so hard here. So, okay. And the other thing about this particular hairdo, hold still, please. Hold still, please. Hold still. Are you okay? You sure? Okay. The other thing about this particular hairdo is it lasts quite some time. So there's your first one. Are you okay? Are you sure? Can you talk? Talk. Okay, you're good.
I want dolphins.
Yeah, you got a sucker right now, though, okay? Okay. The one thing that I really like about this particular hairdo is it's a little bit more versatile, because you can pull it up or down. It doesn't have to just be one or the other. if it's half back, you can use it to your advantage to, Kamiyah, hold still please, to leave it down curly and really get that her hair effect. Or if you're going to daycare, you can really just pull it back. And, you know, you're like, oh, I'm so late, I got to run out the door. You can just pull it all back into a ponytail and you're good to go.
I done my sugar.
You're not, it's not done yet. It's getting close, not quite.
I put my mouth.
The other thing I really like about latex rubber bands is that they don't shred your cuticles. So by the time you're done with this, you don't necessarily want your own hands torn up. Those no-tear rubber bands, you might as well just start cutting your fingers before you even start, because it's just going to be shredded by the time you get anywhere close to the end.
Come on.
And I don't know about you, but us moms seem to go through enough stuff. Look forward, please. Look forward. You're going to make me have to start over. Look forward, please.
I want my mommy and my daddy.
Kamiyah. Who's right here? This is Kaylee. And Mommy. Well, then I bet you're going to be just fine. Don't you suppose? Okay. All right. So this is the point where we're just about halfway done. So end up coming up on the home stretch. Okay. This part is where you can really start to change it, because now you've got this angle going this direction. You could technically go ahead, put your head up here. You could technically go ahead and just decide to start going straight back. If you end up going straight back, you'll end up just making a triangle, this first one, and then the rest will just be chunked out like that. It kind of gives it that variation and also kind of that sharp contrast. Seems to be the eye grabber. Come on, look forward, please. I need you to look forward, okay? Okay.
I got my sugar.
Yeah, is it good? What color is it?
Purple.
What? No way.
Yeah.
Yes, huh?
Yeah, purple.
It's a purple one? Purple's so delicious.
It's yucky.
What? Then how can you keep eating it if it's yucky? Okay.
It's yummy. Ow.
Okay.
Stop doing that.
We're almost done, kiddo. Okay?
Okay. Bum.
Okay. Trick is to just make sure that you... The trick is to just make sure that when you first start, you twist more than when you start twisting back. Because that first twist is what's really going to give it that.
I'll try my sugar.
Come on, just hold on to it. And you're not done with it. It's still there. How are you done with a sucker that's not gone? Are you silly?
It's all gone.
It's all gone.
Uh-huh.
Okay, Hold on just a second. It doesn't look all gone to me. Is there still purple there?
No.
Really?
Mm-mm.
I must be seeing things then, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Send it. Send the purple one.
See what?
Purple one.
Okay, one more, okay? Just hang on to the sucker. You're going to be just fine.
Hey.
As you can see, it doesn't solve every tiny little hair, but it does get a big chunk of them. And I'd say this particular hair style, I usually,
Ow.
if it's done up real tight, I can usually get a good week out of it. I still give her a bath every other day. That sounds like it's kind of awful, but because she's African American, her part African American, obviously, her hair, her skin and her hair dry out a lot faster than everybody else's. So she doesn't get a bath every single day unless obviously it warrants it, and then we have no choice. But so I do wash her hair through this. I don't so much use shampoo as I use conditioner, just because it holds it into place. So there you go. Sit up, please. Now, what's pretty sweet about this is, like I said, you can go ahead and you've got a couple of options. You can either leave it down and go curly, which is more work, or you can go ahead and look up, please. Or I'm sorry, look down. I didn't mean look up. Sorry, babe. You can go ahead and just, nope, look down. Pull the rest of it back. As far as pulling it back like this, come on, I need you to look down, please. I need you to sit up and look down. Okay? As far as pulling it back like this, there's this brand of ponytails that looks like this. That is actually a no slip, or it's a no tear one, but they're a real thick band. They're great. They're great. I do reuse them. And they hold this amount of hair back. I wouldn't put a rubber band in that thick of hair because, well, it's not going to hold it. And there you go. Can you stop and look forward, please? Now look down. This is not conditioned. I would go ahead and get this wet and recondition it. Then you're going to end up having a really big poof there in the back. And you're durable. Oh, stop. Look down, please. You're durable, and it will. Whoever's looking. There you go. Okay.